Here is my Mother's Day gift. Just arrived from the kiddos. How cute is this? Edible arrangements. Okay, now we're going to be getting into some of the serious talk. So, see you in a bit. Good morning, good morning. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Just know that it can be a thankless job, but it's so worth it, and you are loved, and you're a superhero. All the moms out there. So I said I would come back either Saturday or Sunday with a follow-up video, kind of breaking things down, because I didn't want to put too much information in one video where people are overwhelmed, So this video, I will focus more on my previous job to kind of bring people up to date. I have been a public servant for over 20 years. I moved to the city of Seattle about a good 23 years ago now. It's been 23, 24 years ago. So I've been a public servant most of the time I was here. For the most part, I really enjoyed my job. And I had a really amazing supervisor. When I say amazing, I mean amazing. She was the kind of person that really cared for her workers, because she understood that they were her VIPs. Without the employees, she couldn't do her job, and we made her look good. Now, that wonderful supervisor left, I'm trying to think, maybe 6 years ago. And after that, our unit, kind of our little small unit, kind of went just downhill. They brought in someone that totally traumatized the unit, and we ended up sitting in mediation with that supervisor for a couple of months because it was so bad. Then they ended up, for lack of a better word, leaving before they got fired. Then we were without a supervisor for a while. We kind of just, because it was just me and another coworker, then we kind of just supervised ourselves. I mean, our work was not like difficult, like we needed monitoring or anything, but and then they finally brought in someone else, and that person was just bad. It was bad. They came in with no understanding of what our unit did and why we did what we did. So they came in, and then 3 months later, they left to do another position for about almost 8 or 9 months, then came back thinking they were going to make a lot of changes and change the workload. Now, as a supervisor, of course, that's your right. But I would advise that approach when you don't understand the program and that line of business is brand new to you. I would not suggest coming in making changes, because you could dismantle the unit, and all the progress that unit has made and all the work they've done could just be blown out of the water, okay, for lack of a better word. And me and that supervisor did, for some reason, and I want to think maybe part of it was personality too, because when a new person comes on, I like for them to really dive in and get to know the program, and, kind of do little interviews and say, what is your line of work? How do you contribute to this? Why do you do what you do, and all of that? And that kind of never happened. It never happened. They just wanted a top-down approach. You do this, you do that. I noticed my workload started to get much heavier, more work. Once they find out you're efficient and you understand a whole lot of things, the more work they give you. I've talked about this before. I ended up having to go to our HR. I ended up even having to go to our union rep. It was no relief with this person. We just kept bumping heads. It got to a point I didn't want to be there anymore. My job was no longer fun. It was not something I look forward to going to because then I'll be thinking, oh God, what more is going to come my way to be put on my plate? So it was not an enjoyable place. It was a place full of stress. Now, mind you, for the last 15 years or so, I suffered with seasonal depression. And I think I've had bouts of just depression my whole entire life that went undiagnosed. And I got into counseling, into therapy, and that helped some, but how do I say this? Counseling slash therapy is a wonderful tool. They give you tools on how to cope, I think, but they don't necessarily solve the situations in your life. And sometimes those situations are not easily solved. So you're in a perpetual state of, I have these tools, I'm trying to use them. They apply a little bit, but not quite. And I'm still feeling anxious and depressed and all of that. Coupled with the last 2 years, I've been dealing with family members that are struggling. So that added another layer. Along with dark Seattle, not having, my job just totally sucking and blowing. And it, to be honest, made me hit a brick wall. I had thoughts of it was just not even worth it anymore. And when I get to that really dark place, I started thinking about, wait a minute, I have my babies, I have my grandbaby. And that always snapped me out of it. Every time I thought about my grandbaby, I want to be here to see her grow up. But at the same time, I'm struggling mentally. And it's just, it was just really, really bad. I wasn't anticipating doing what I did, but I felt like I had no way out because I went down different avenues. Like I said, I did HR, union. I went to job coaches. I looked at maybe trying to transfer and do lateral transfers. None of it really panned out. So, sadly, in the end, what I made the decision to do was just an early retirement. Now, there's pros and cons. The pro is that the way our retirement was set up, I get that benefit for life. It doesn't change. You get yearly cost of living increases, but I do get a set amount, and it's not a bad set amount at all. So I did that, and my thought was that, okay, I only need to make up an X amount of money to just, go along with that because I'm just 56 years old. So, old lady, but not old enough to get all my retirement. So I couldn't pull my Social Security along with my retirement. So I said, well, maybe I could just work part-time somewhere, find a little nothing kind of job. And unfortunately, the job that I chose, thinking it would be a nothing kind of job, was not the job for me. I struggled in that job. I really struggled. And it lasted just 4 months. I actually quit last Monday. And, it took a toll on me just that short a time working that job. Or I had shoulder and wrist issues from that. So right now I'm kind of in this limbo of, we're okay financially. It's not where we were before, but are we struggling? No, we're not struggling. So I'm going to take the time to kind of look for a job that is a better fit, not just jump into something just to have something. And as everyone knows, with the situation in the U.S., jobs are hard to come by, especially decent ones. With so many people laid off, we have hundreds of thousands of people out there looking for a job. Okay. So I've been applying here and there for things I think I can do that I'm actually good at, that's in my field, not something that's totally different. So that's kind of where I'm bringing you guys up to date at, is that the job that I did have for all those years, I had to say goodbye to, just to save my mental health. It was bad. I was miserable. It was bleeding into every part of my life. Everything. It just, I'm just not a happy person. Coupled with going through a lot of family stuff, suffering from anxiety and depression, and then to living here in Seattle where it's very gray and cold most of the time. About I'm just gonna be honest, about 85 to 90% of the time, that's what it's like here. So it was just too much. It's become too much. So I've been home being kind of a homemaker. I've never been a homemaker before in my life. Ever since I was 16, I had a job, and having kids to support and all that. So this is new to me. This is very new, and it feels weird. But I'll adjust. Like I said, I'm doing homemaking. I'm looking for jobs that are still within the field that I kind of used to do, that I'm used to. I think for me, at my age, doing a 180 to something that I've never ever done was too much of a shock to my body, and my body was just like, no, we're not doing this. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I said before, I don't really have a video schedule. I will take you around doing some of my housework, how I'm organizing right now. I'm keeping a little sheet of paper and writing things down, what I want to do in that day, and then just check it off at the end of the day. So we'll go through that, maybe starting maybe Tuesday or something like that, or even Monday. So like, again, it's going to be sporadic until I can get back into the groove of how I'm going to do videos and how many per week I'm going to put out. So again, thank you guys. So many of you did reach out to me. I'm still here. Thank you so much. And I appreciate each and every one of you. You have no idea how much it means to me when I would read those emails and know that people were actually thinking of me. So I'm back. How I'm going to do this, I have to figure it out. But just know that I'm back, and I'm going to be getting some videos out. So I don't want this to be too long. I'm going to cut it off here. And again, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. And I hope you enjoy today. I'm going to enjoy today. The sun is actually out. It's about probably 60 degrees. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get out and do too much, but we'll see. If I do something, I'll try to, capture bits and pieces of it to pull it together into a video. So for now, goodbye, and I will be seeing you very soon.